tonight, I think, for Pro.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to live coverage here of the Straight Line Motorsports GT3 Championship live at the Red Bull Ring. And if you're just joining us from the Pro-Am race, we are set to do battle with the pros as well. And in front of us, you have Elliot Faggoter in the number 64, who is also in the competition. Who is also on a live radio feed with us instead of this time as he's driving. So, Elliot, want to take a chance to say hi?
Good evening. Looking forward to it.
He will be driving the 64 Nissan GTR. We have James Head in the number 7 Mustang as he will be trying to get back some serious points in the championship. Of course, we have Doug Barrow in the 13 Honda as he comes back after a tough fight last time out. And then I see in the background Swift running a... Ooh! I do love this livery that Swift is running as well in the 95. He's running the D2 sponsored Mercedes that the Works team had at Le Mans. So I love the silver look that they have this Mercedes. It's very promising and looking on that car, of course. So Swift, the championship leader, will be trying to extend his championship lead as a result, but the man in hot pursuit of him is right behind him, and that is in the hands of SLM GT3. And he's also got an update. Yes, Ure's got an updated livery. He's got the Audi Sport decal on the hood of the car. So a lot of these guys having updated their liveries. So this is very, very good for them, for all of these guys, of course. But Sidemax Motorworks looking to try and get back into the championship fight at the moment. Of course, we saw James Head. Then we have Hairraiser, who unfortunately did not participate last time by, as he will be running in the 69 Honda for the wet conditions. Then Ben L85 in the other Toyota Supra, the Pro Toyota Supra, will be making his start today with the number 8. And then SLM Palmer, who's got the walking horse BMW M6 livery on that car. So that's very, very, very good for him. Of course, he's getting it super sideways. Oh, and it's just the torque in that thing is very, very rough. And he's getting it really sideways indeed in that BMW M6. So that will be up to take something into consideration, of course. And so Swift going to have to do the hard work here. This is going to be interesting of note as well for the championship leaders on how they perform in the wet as well. Harriers are doing well in the Honda NSX GT3. And so another driver we did not pay attention to, we have the returning, you can barely see him, but that is the Audi R8 of K&K Dot, the teammate to SLM GT3 in the 04, as he makes his first start since Dragon Trail after claiming a race win there. So his 4th race of the season today, as he will try and take home a potential race win, of course. So I've got to get this link going. Come on, I gotta get it sending, of course. Oh no, Decibel was able to get it up and running. So let's see here now, as I'm just hopping onto the live stream now. And also, another thing of note as well, you're missing the absent TJIS. That is because he is serving his 1 race ban here today because of his incident that happened at Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya 2 weeks ago. We won't go into further detail about that, of course, but apparently we will not tolerate such actions, of course. And of course, he is watching the live stream, which is good. We still welcome him, but he is taking responsibility for his actions, and he will be back next week, wherever it may be, and we will be at the Nürburgring for that race as well. And the puppy, it's the puppy. I know, I'm giving you all the attention in the world. I know. And so qualifying set to start real shortly. There is the man K&K Dot in the 04. Last time he was here, he won a race at Dragon Trail, of course, and we will get to you championship points here as we speak. Swift now leading the Pro Championship with 105 points on the table. Yuri now only 13 points behind with 92, and then SLM Polymer has jumped into third place in the standings with 72 points. He is 20 points off of Yuri, but 33 off of Swift. So the championship now for the Pro division has come down to a two-race horse, but there are still points to be played for 6 rounds left in the championship. And so Yuri is just doing the best that he can to try and fight for those positions right now. Right, qualifying about to start now for the Pro division. And so Swift's looking very, very good in the championship leading 95 Mercedes AMG GT3. Qualifying will last for about 10 minutes, and Elliot Wagner is not holding around in the GTR.
I don't know if you want to mute me, by the way.
All right, gotcha. Right, so Elliot Wagner is muted. A lot of these guys going out on track for the first time. We have about 9 drivers here set to duke it out for qualifying, and just look at the traffic now for all these guys. Oh, is that Elliot Wagner that's going around? Is that Elliot that's going around? Yes, it has, into turn number 3. And so he doesn't want to burn up the rear tires as much. Yes, that's my dog, so I expect this to be a... So he's just still trying to get used to his surroundings, of course. I do apologize for that, but of course, you know, my mom is a dog carer and she likes to take care of foster dogs for most of her life. And so Yuri and K&K Dot going out on track. K&K Dot has not gotten the updated livery, I imagine, so... But Yuri has updated the livery and is looking very, very nicely indeed on the Audi. The Audi sport colors look very indeed, and he's trying to be super, super careful in these wet conditions. Right, Doug Barrow will lead the way for these guys, the field of 9 for qualifying, and we will see what for today's. Get used to his surroundings. So if you do hear a faint whining, that is my dog, because it's a foster, but there's someone that might be adopting the dog, of course. So if you do hear whining, I do apologize for that in advance. But who doesn't love dogs? Let's be honest here. Who doesn't? And so Polymer is still getting walk-and-horse BMW backing for today's race. Going to try and stay within the championship hunt in the M6. And it's just a very, very wet running here, of course, in these conditions. Doug Barrow now still trying to get the Honda around the circuit as quickly as possible. You can just see the tricky conditions. Oh, just the kickerboards here in these mid-engine cars. He's going a bit wide out of... He's able to hold on to it, which is a good thing, but he's got to be oh so careful indeed going into... Oh, he's got a bit too sideways, I think. Oh, Jesus, she hit. No, he hit. Right, so now Doug Barrow coming through to the final corner will set the benchmark for these times. So first lap now for Doug Barrow in the Honda, it will be a 47.6. That's a very good lap indeed. James Head will go a 49.5, so he's not had a good lap. Swift will go just only second place. Hair Razor will move into third, and only 0.2 of a second to separate the top 2 in qualifying. Bentley 5 hopping into 5th. SLM Polymer, what can he do in the BMW M6? He can only muster 5th place. Elliot Wagner going to 6th. Yuri on pole position with a 46.2, and that's 1.3 seconds faster than Doug Barrow. So that's a great lap for him. as he tries to get back the championship fight. K&K Dot, not a good lap, but actually good enough for 4th, but 2.3 seconds off of his teammate Yurei. So K&K Dot trying to back his Side Max Motorworks teammate. So I just turned on the lights for the dog. Hopefully that will try and alleviate things. Doug Barrow is still in 2nd place. What can he do to try and better his qualifying time of 47.6? And so, what can he do to better his time? No improvement there by half a second. Swift especially will come to the start-finish line. James Head improves on time but doesn't improve on position. Swift can only muster a 47.1. Hairraiser can do a 48.3. And the top of these 49.4 for Ben L85 can only muster 7th. So these guys come out through. Palmer can only better must 8. Ellie Faggoter 49.8. So Ellie Faggoter at the bottom of the field. No improvement for Yurei. 5 seconds. So he's had a terrible lap somewhere. He had a first sector, 51 in the 2nd sector, so he's not had a good lap. K&K Dot, purple sectors 2 and 3, and he will pop to the top of the time with a 46.1. So 45's on the table potentially for these guys going into this coming race. So another lap of hot laps coming on, and Doug Barrow can only muster a 47.5, but doesn't change on position. So Swift now with a 5/10 penalty, so this lap will not count, but he's going to go at it for another crack at it, of course. 48.1 for Hairraiser, can only muster 5th. Palmer has dead stop, and he's going to abandon this lap and go for another lap, of course. Yurei will come through the final corner for another lap. This lap and one more. I feel like what will it be? We will go back to pole position with a 45.9. So the first 45's cracked of the weekend. Flickering the lights to Elliott to tell him to get out of the way. And so a blue flag scenario for Elliott Faggoter. He's going to try and get out of the way. K&K Dot now 2/10 down off of SLM Yurei. What can he do? He's not had a good lap either. 57 coming across the start-finish line. So he's not had a good lap as well. It's either you have a good lap or a bad lap here, of course, in these wet weather conditions. Yurei has got by the GTR of Elliott Faggoter. Palmer all the way down to 9th. Elliott Faggoter jumping up into 6th that last lap, so that's good for him. But he's way off pace, 3 seconds off of pole position. So the championship leader Swift not having a good day for himself, 1.2 seconds off the leading duo of Audis. And so, is that a slow car on the track? I'm not sure which car that is. That is Ben L85 who was going slow. He's going to abandon this lap, so he's had an incident somewhere. Doug Barrow will come, and no improvement definitely this time by, so we will have one more lap to go for this the 10-minute qualifying session in the Honda NSX GT3. So a lot of these guys, no improvements at all. Swift, no improvements, so he's got to make this lap count if he wants to try and challenge for the top 2. And no improvements coming in at the moment, but we are taking a look at the Audi. And Urey is slowing up. Palmer moves into 8. Oh no, it's K&K Dot. And so I imagine K&K Dot will be happy with his qualifying performance of 2nd place. I'm not sure what he's trying to do. I'm not sure if he's trying to do a burnout or anything like that, but he will finish this qualifying session now on a high, and he will go 2nd with his teammate in front. So Urey will get one more crack at it to extend his pole position advantage of 0.2 over his teammate, but just at least a second or so over Swift in the 95. So the 95 Mercedes is having a difficult day here at the Red Bull Ring circuit. He is 0.2 up. That would not change his position. And so the 2 Spaniards doing the work here, ousting the British drivers, and is doing a good job. K&K Dot will come across the start-finish line to finish his session, of course. We'll go ahead to Doug Barrow to see if he can try and hop over the Mercedes, and he goes faster, but not enough to change position. Swift now will improve, but not on position. So a 46.9 for Swift, but is still a second off of Urey. Hairraiser will improve his time, but not position. And so a lot of these guys just not able to improve on their time. James Head will improve his time, but not his position again. So Bentley 5 and Urey coming through, no improvements for neither of them. Ellie Fagner, no improvement for himself, and there's one more car on track setting the fast lap, and that is Palmer, but yeah, he's not going to finish this lap, and he will not improve. So SLM Palmer in the BMW will come home for P8 in the session. Bentley 5 will bring up the rear of the grid. So there are your qualifying results. The 2 Spaniards of Urey and K&K Dot ousting the best of the rest, including the British drivers and the German driver of Bentley 85, and they will result in a Cymax Motorworks sweep of the front row with the Audis. And it's going to be very treacherous conditions here indeed. And so it's going to be very, very juicy for the most part for all of these guys as we wait for the lights to go on out. And so when do the green lights fall on out? And that will be the big question here. And the green light is out. And let's see who's got the better start. K&K Dot got a great start, and he's going to automatically jump his teammate going towards turn number 1. Let's go back to standard camera for the time being just to see where things shuffle on out. And Swift is getting barraged by the 2 Hondas of Doug Barrow and Hairraiser. So Swift feeling a bit of pressure from the guys behind, but he's instantly going to try and jump back up into P3. Doug Barrow not giving him any challenge. Swift's going to try and get as wide as he can into corner. Oh, that's a very sideways Elliott Wagner. Was he hit sideways going into turn number 3? And that's the same exact incident that happened with him in the start of qualifying. So it's happened to him again in the race. So that's not good news for Elliott Wagner, who's trying to make up lost ground in the championship. K&K Dot and Urey doing a good job. And K&K Dot with no traction control assist, doing a good job. Oh, the kick of oversteer. And he's got to turn on that traction control instantly. Oh, he's going to get a little bit too wide. But I think he's going to hold on to that lead of the race. Urey in hot pursuit, as well as Doug Barrow. So you don't see Doug Barrow competing for a lot of these top positions at all. So this is definitely good for the Honda of Doug Barrow and Hairraiser. So the 2 duos, the Costa Hondas, and I did it again with the Mazdas, are doing good to challenge Swift and potentially the top guys as well for this lead of the lead of this race. K&K Dot and Urey just ousting their advantage in the Audi R8s that are so good in the wet weather conditions to do a good job, of course. Palmer has moved up into P6, and you can see the amount of spreads in the air. It's very difficult to see any of these cars, really. So it's very hard for some of these drivers to just drive in the rain. And so all they can really do is just hold out and do the best that they can. Ben LB5 has jumped up into P7 after starting 9th place. James had in 8th, he's dropped down a couple positions. Oh, is there some cars that gone wide? Oh, there's a very, very big train hold up, and there's a big 4-car battle going on, so that the two Audis have an incident of some sort. There is no damage on neither one of them, so I imagine that Ure is going to get absolutely swamped. Oh, actually, I stand that. Ure has had contact on the front end. It was that contact with his teammate. I do imagine so, but Doug Barrow is leading this race in the wet, and K Dot and Ure getting past Swift and then Mercedes. Oh, there's a bit of contact and side-by-side argy-bargy action going on for this race for track position in the championships between the two championship leaders. Oh, you can see one of those lights. Oh, K Dot going extremely sideways. Gets the car slowed down. Loses a couple of positions, and of course dropping down to P6. So K Dot, who started on 2nd place, is going to have to get that traction control on if he wants to stay up potentially into this race. Palmer going a kick of oversteer. And is there damage on the back of that Audi? I'm not 100% sure on that, but there's definitely damage on the front end of Ure's car. And so Doug Barrow getting up into the front of this race. And that will be very, very good for him if he can be able to maintain and hold on to the lead of this race. So Doug Barrow doing a good job at holding off against the Spaniard, Ure, who's definitely trying to get back into the championship fight against Swift. And so this is providing some exciting racing for all of these guys. For the lead. You see the glimmer of lights off of the back bumper of the Honda NSX from Ure. Still trying to maintain a close degree of trying to overtake. Oh, is there a car that's gone around? I think it was the GTR of Elliott Wagner. And what has happened to K Dot? He's dropped down to 8th, and you can see the front end damage on that Audi. So he's had contact somewhere, and I think, you know what? That rear quarter panel, the right rear quarter panel, has got a lot of scrapes on it, so I imagine Ure might have hit him on the right-hand side. And so he's definitely not done himself well there. And so Swift on board with the Brit in the 95 Mercedes. Trying to stay as close as he can to the top two up in front. Smooth on the gear changes and smooth on the driving as a whole. He's doing a good job of it as it stands. And so Swift now setting the fast lap of the race with a 47 dead. So this is helping him out try and stay within close proximity of the two guys up in front. Doug Barrow and Ure. Ure's going to try to make a move onto the inside of Doug Barrow going into turn number 3, but nothing is doing there, and Doug Barrow still holds on to that lead of the race. And oh, never mind, Doug Barrow's had an incident somewhere, and he's lost the track position to Ure. And Swift's going to get a piece of that as well, as he was up into P2. So a good job for him. And he's doing a good job at trying to stay within close range of the guys up in front. Just super treacherous conditions out there for the top 3 of these guys. We're trying to stay all within close range of the fight for the race lead, which is currently occupied by the man of Ure. And he will try and take home his second win of the season, according to Swift's 3 wins that he's had. Ure's only had 1 win this season course, a lot of these guys have only had one win this season. Ellie Bagger having race one at Bathurst, Yuri having one at Fuji, and King Dot having one at Dragon Show. There are 6, and then, of course, Swift has 3 wins to his credit at Suzuka, Monza, and Catalunya. So Swift looking for 3 wins in a row here at the Red Bull Ring. And Doug Barrow, of course, just losing out just slightly to the guys out in front. And so Yuri in the 77, still trying to stay within arm's reach. There is Hair Razor in 13th, also, or not 13th, the 69, who's theoretically still in this 12. Let's take a look back at the field now. Palmer now doing a good job now at holding on to 5th place in the BMW M6. James Head in the Mustang still trying to stay within close proximity. Oh, K&K Dot with an aggressive move on the inside. Bentley 5 not going to let that go. Yes, actually, Bentley 5 is going to force his way back up into P7, but K&K Dot says, nope, I'm going to muscle my way back up into P7, and he does it with perfection and with style as well. And so K&K Dot on surge. So let's take a look back at these guys who are using traction control. Yuri's using traction control, Swift is using traction control, Doug Barrow 2, Hair Razor, Palmer, James Head, K&K Dot is not, Bentley 5 and Ellie Bagger all are. So K&K Dot in the 04 is not using the traction control feature in these wet weather conditions, which is basically suicide if you think about it. But of course, if that's how K&K Dot wants to do it, then let him do it if he's going to try and get back up into the fight for the lead of this race. The top 4 a bit particularly spread out, with Yuri still occupying the top spot in the 77. Doing a good job of it as well. And so Yuri with a 46.5, so that's already faster than his qualifying time, and he's doing a great job at trying to stay ahead of Swift. Quite the debacle. Oh, and Palmer's got it wide. K&K Dot's going to move up into 5th. James Head's going to move up into 6th, after being displaced by K&K Dot for position. Battle 85 in 8th, and Ellie Bagger all the way down in 9th. And so this mid-car fight for position. Oh, what has happened to James Head? He's gone wide. Oh! What was that about James Head? What just happened to James Head? He went left and then he just all of a sudden backtracked, so I'm not sure what happened there. The front lights on that Mustang are all of a sudden broke. At least 2 of them are, and now they're showing clear instead of yellow. Reason the reflection of the lights show yellow instead of red, which I quite find odd for the Mustang. Oh, keep oversteer, and James was able to save that somehow, which is good for him. And so the 2 up at front still being occupied by Yuri and Swift. Oh, and a kick of oversteer out to count as well for Yuri out of turn number 1. Doug Barrow still doing a good job at holding on into 3rd place. Hair Razor, same could be said for position number 4. Palmer still in 5th with a battle against K&K Dot. No, actually K&K Dot. Oh, K&K Dot's had an incident, and he's gone wide again. And Bentley 5 will move up back into 7th. James Head into 7th. Bentley 5 6th. Palmer 5th. And K&K Dot back to square 1, all the way down in 8th. I think K&K Dot is trying to do this without any form of traction control. way back up to the front of the field, where Yure's still holding on for the race lead. And so, just a kick of oversteer for Elliot Fageter, as he's trying to hold on for his dear life, I suppose. So a battle going on now at the back of the field. Down 5 involved in that as well in the number 8 Supra. So that was some onboard coverage of that L85 in the Toyota Supra. As he's still trying to find some lost ground to make up. Kenge Dot not fooling around though, as he's still sitting in 6th. He's trying to make up his lost ground after a couple of incidents as well. Oh, Elliot Fageter has parked it up, and yes he has, so that is going to be him leaving the race. And so I imagine I'm going to have him unmuted. And so we're going to find out from what happened from Elliot Fageter. No, I don't want to do that. And, oh, dang it, I did it again. Come on, myself. Right, and so Elliot is unmuted, and unfortunately for him, he's retired from the race, and unfortunately for Elliot Fageter, that's not the way on how he wants to end this race, but of course, it happened as it is. Elliot Fageter, I assume you want to do commentary and overlooking the race if you can?
Yeah, I think it's safer for me to do that. The car just, there was absolutely no performance in the car whatsoever. And yeah, I was running up into turn 1. It just felt like everyone was very early on the brakes, absolutely everyone, so I just had to get as far over to the left as possible just to avoid everyone, which I thankfully did. So I just couldn't, there was no, I couldn't accelerate, essentially. Traction control was on just like everyone else, but the car just wasn't pulling. So yeah, out of turn 5, that's 3, 4, out of turn 5, it was just sideways. I tried absolutely everything. I tried.
There's an incident for KK Dot, and he's got it sideways, literally. And of course, he's been displaced down to P8. Of course, Battle 5 was involved in contact. He sustained front bumper damage, but that means Palmer and James had to boot up into 5th and 6th. And what looked to be a very, very scrappy battle for 5th to 8th is now down all of a sudden, just KK Dot. Another setback for him, of course. But I won't say what I need to say. I would say better safe than sorry for you, Elliot, and I think just you pulling off might be the better way to do it.
Benell's off.
Who's off?
Benell was just going across on the left-hand side of the circuit on the approach to turn 6.
It looked like he got it back under control.
Yeah.
He was able to hold on. Interestingly enough, Elliot, KK Dot is the only car in this field that is not running traction control, and he's struggling massively.
Cool. But what I wanted to point out to you is, if you ride on board with Yera, Swift, and Doug, for example, I've just watched them coming through turn 6 on their previous lap. Just ride on board with me. Or with one of them. I don't know if you saw me, but coming through turn 6, the car will only go sideways. But for these guys, it doesn't. So if you watch on board with Yera and Swift, for example, who are running down to that section now. So through here, the car only wanted to be sideways. I couldn't get any power down whatsoever.
Right.
here, exactly here where Swift, now where Doug's approaching. Look at how straight they were able to keep the car. Mine was 90 degrees, 45 to 90 degrees to the circuit. It didn't want to go straight.
Right.
So that's my day over.
Unfortunate to hear, but of course we do continue on for the race itself. Oh, Bentley 5 very deep into the corner. He's lost out a lot of time again to K&K Dot out in front. So not another good day for Bentley 5 in office for himself. He's just trying to stay on the track and be able to make sure he can get to the finish whilst trying to fight for position. Just another setback for himself, unfortunately. So he's just trying to do the best he can. And so the closest battle we have on track at the moment is between the Mustang and the BMW of James Head. And I say that, James Head was able to save it before he had another commentator's course pulled on him, of course.
Yeah, everyone's doing such a good job tonight. Everyone.
Oh, air race has gone wide out of turn number 1, or into turn number 1, I should say, because he was just rejoining the track. And so it's very difficult for these guys just to try and stay within arm's reach. Yuri and Swift are doing a great job of holding on to their prospective first and second place, and as well as Doug Barrow in Hair Racer, Doug Barrow, who led the race for a brief period of time, just sits at third ahead of his teammates, so he's doing a good job in that Honda NSX. Oh, and I see a potential move for Palmer and James Head. Palmer moves to the inside of turn number 3 as he defends from James Head. Oh, kick of oversteer might have forced James Head off a bit wide. And so this battle is still unfolding. K&K Dot is closing up, clawing back at an alarming rate to these two. And his quick pace of the wet after setting the second fastest time in qualifying is definitely paying dividends.
Because he's not running traction control, and apart from that little kick there, he's able to keep it very, very straight.
Oh, James Head! Oh, James Head's on an incident! James Head's on an incident, and he's going to go wide off to the grass, and I think he's just able to keep the thing straight, which is good for him, but he's lost a lot of time to Palmer, and he's lost a position to K&K Dot. My oh my, and it's catching out a lot of these guys as well. My lord, this wet weather is providing some up and down action all across the board. And so there's obviously a gap between the car's performancing factors, of course. And Palmer can only muster into P5 for the time being. And he's 31 seconds off of the leaders at the moment, which is Yuri.
One thing I did just want to point out is Palmer is not running all the stickers.
As well.
Hang on.
No, he is. He's got the GT Pro sticker in the back.
That's really weird. When I was running up behind him, he had a completely different sticker on his car. Where it says GT Pro on the back, it was a completely different sticker.
He's got it there. So I think he is good, but he's having to withstand some pressure from K&K Dot behind as well. And K&K Dot going to get the move done. Oh, kick of oversteer again from Palmer. That's at least 2, 3, 4 kicks of oversteer out of turn number, midway through turn number 5. Oh, there's someone in the pit. That is Swift coming into the pits.
Early.
This is fairly unusually early for Swift.
What's he coming in for, though? Is he going to change to inters, do we think?
That would be an interesting thing, of course. We'll keep an eye out for that. He's going to get new rubber, for sure.
Oh, look, it's fuel.
Fuel as well. He let the 2 Honda NSXs on by, and he's going to lose a bit of time. He's taking a bit of fuel.
Wet, fresh wet.
Is he trying to two-stop? That's a fair interesting call, as well as James Head. He's taking fuel as well, but this is interesting. This is very interesting strategy call for a lot of these guys. Oh! Palmer's gone around! Palmer's gone around at turn number 1. He's got a car coming up, he's going to wait for it, and that's Bentley 5 who goes on by.
This will help James Head.
Yeah, this will definitely help out James Head for track position, because Palmer will have to come into the pits soon as well. Yeah, so the two Hondas NSXs of Doug Barrow and Hairraiser are moving up into second and third after the expense of Swift's pit stop, but Swift is still not that far behind, so he's doing a good job at trying to stay at a close range. Uray's going to stay out.
Now here's an interesting fact. There are 2 cars out there with insufficient liveries on.
2?
Yep. Both of them are teammates.
Is it... Is it who I think it is?
I don't know. Who do you think it is?
Doug Barrow and Hairraiser.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do
no.
they not have GT Pro on their car?
No, it's no, I can see him. It's below the number plate on the sides, but it's very difficult to see. It's just below.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, it's very difficult. It's hard to see.
Hairraiser's is incorrect.
Really?
Yeah. He's only got Pro. Doesn't have GT Pro. Doesn't have R sticker or that.
Wait, let me see. Hang on. Oh, hold on. What about the other side? Oh, you're right.
Yeah, so we'll give them the warning as well.
Yeah, to correct it for next race. Yeah, that's fine. That's interesting. Keeping that. That's something of interest as well to look at.
Everyone else is absolutely fine, but just a heads up to Hairraiser on that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, just let them know in the Discord after the race as well. So.
How is Swift getting on? Swift's
right. He's fine. Yeah, he's got the GT Pro.
Yeah, with that last lap, 145.0 on that last lap, I'd say that was fine. It's not registering on my end what lap he pitted on though.
No, he pitted lap 12, but the 45 was his out lap.
Okay, yeah, so you basically cut the first corner.
Yeah.
And that's where the timer starts.
Yeah, it doesn't count. Yeah, you're fine. Uray right now is good on fuel. He's going to definitely go for the one stop, that's for a fact. Doug Barrow and Hairraiser, same who said, oh, Hairraiser getting very sideways out of the first corner.
I tell you what, Swift's call to come into the pit lane is very smart because Yera cannot afford to go into a lean mixture and fuel save.
Yeah, he will
so
have
he's covering that up.
Yeah, he's gonna have to pit for full fuel this time by, and that should
and
get
being
him
on
back
the
up
fresher
there.
tyres and a heavier fuel load, Swift should maybe at least undercut him to the point where they're close on circuit.
Right.
Although he's gone deep there.
Ooh, which car?
Swift.
Swift. There he is. Oh, yeah.
He's really struggling.
Yeah, Swift is trying to push on those wets while he can. I think he knows. I think what he's thinking is that if he can change to the wets and be on fresher rubber than the guys up in front, he could make up lost time on the track.
Yeah, I'm not too sure because it's got to be down. He's got to be doing something strategic here because he's not going to be able to do anything on track as Swift.
Yeah, he's barely getting any time off the guys up front as well. And also of note, K Don has gone. Oh, is that's Palmer who's gone into the barrier off turn number 6, I believe. Or no, turn number 5. I apologize. Yep, Palmer was in the barrier again. K&K Dot. Oh, he's on a purple sector as well. I think he might be on a hot lap mode at the moment. He's going to definitely try and get back into this race. Yeah, 45.9. He's setting the fastest lap of the race. Yeah, K&K Dot is on a charge right now with literally no traction control. And he is absolutely on a hot flying mode at the moment.
With worn tyres as well.
Yeah, worn tyre, which is quite a surprise to me as well.
What do you think?
Yeah, Swift is not even gaining any time on this set. Gary's
Double podium for the Audis?
Possibly, yeah. I think so.
No, actually no, it won't be, will it? Because Swift is a pit stop ahead. K&K Dot's going to need to stop. That'll drop him way behind Ben L. Yeah, it'll drop him behind Ben L.
Yeah,
so then it's just going to be a race.
I think so. Ooh, was that Ben L5 that went wide? Speaking of which, he actually probably went wide into turn number 3 because he was very slow exiting that corner.
He was fine through there. I was on board with him as you came on board, but he was okay.
Oh, doggy. Oh. Yuri's going to stay out for one more lap, and he's going to try and get 30 minutes on the clock and try and go for the full 100 fuel liter strat next time by, so he doesn't have to worry about saving any fuel. Or he might be, and we just don't even know that. Oh, someone's going into the pits. That is Hair Razor into the pits.
Yes, indeed, he says Swift will take third back.
Yep, he will. But I'm curious to see what Swift's going to do for his second stop. So I'm interested in how this race is going to pan out, obviously.
Doug's going to be fuel saving. Look at the fuel.
Oh yeah, he's definitely been fuel saving for a fact. There's just no way that other Honda would have less fuel than he would. Yeah, Doug Barrow is definitely fuel saving. He's going to try and push.
K&K Dot. Huge kick of oversteer coming out of turn 1.
Hair Razor's coming out now, and he's going to pop out ahead of Benelli 5 for 5th. But he's a whopping 48 seconds off of the race leader, Yuri.
Did I miss something? Why is K&K Dot ahead of Benel?
No, because K&K Dot was pushing.
But I thought that Benel must have had an accident or something somewhere because
no, he overtook him on the track.
Hair Razor was due to be behind Benel.
Well, no, look at the lap differences between Benelli 5 and K&K Dot. Benelli 5 is averaging 48, 49s to 52s. K&K Dot is averaging 46s to 48.
Yeah, but my point is, Hair Razor was
K&K Dot's had another incident! He's had another incident. He's actually able to save it, which is good for him. Yuri into the pits this time by. Yuri into the pits this time by.
Hair Razor was due to come out the pits behind Ben L, but didn't.
So was that's an interesting development right there.
I'm sure the gap between Hair Razor and Ben L before the pit stop phase was 13 seconds, and now it's 6.
Yeah, Yuri's gonna
full fuel.
Yeah, Yuri's in the pits right now. Swift's gonna come across the start finish line to take that lead.
Yes.
Doug Barrow will
take the lead.
Yeah, Doug Barrow will certainly he's going to take the lead in this race, but he's due to pit again. Swift is due to pit again. K&K Dot's going to pit this time by.
He's undercutting. Swift goes for the undercut.
Yeah, he's going to undercut up. Yeah, he's going to try and undercut. Whatchamacallit, Swift and Doug Barrow, and it might work out in his favor, I think. Oh,
no, I'm saying Swift has. Swift's undercut Yera. Yera was leading the race before the pit stop phase.
Look at the fuel for Swift. He's got to make another stop, though.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, look at that. Palmer into the pits this time by. K&K Dot just taking 3 liters under from full. And so Palmer is going to come the rest to a stop. Look at this now. Palmer's spin is going to benefit James Head because James Head is well ahead and into turn number 1. Oh no, James Head's going to make another stop though. That's what it's for.
Does he?
Yeah, he does.
No, he doesn't. He'll put full fuel and go to the end.
Did he put full fuel?
Look, full fuel. And new tyres. Yeah, he's going. Oh, sorry, James. Sorry, yeah. Palmer's going to the end, but James is going to need to stop.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Hanky Dog's good to the end. Ben Ellie's going to come into the pits. No, Ben Ellie 5 is going to come into the pits. There's Doug Barrow and Swift's going to stay out. Doug Barrow's into the pits.
Right,
There's Yuri.
Between Swift and Yera.
Yuri's coming across the start finish line just about now.
Right, 4 seconds.
Yeah, 4 seconds is the gap. And Swift is going to have to defend like a madman if he just wants to stay ahead.
Where's Hair Razor?
Hair Razor, final corner.
Hair Razor can go to the end.
Yeah, definitely. Doug Barrow's going to underfill,
Here he comes.
Yeah, Doug Barrow's underfill.
No, they're on the same fuel. Same fuel.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
just
Ben
about.
comes in.
Yeah, just about. Ben L85 into the pits.
Wow, is Doug going for a podium here?
I think so. Unless...
Yeah, no one else.
Ooh, Jesus. K Dot is so far behind. He can like probably bust here. Ooh, K Dot. This might be the absolute maximum he could get after his incidents, probably.
Yeah.
He's got 5th, guaranteed. But if he's able to absolutely push, 4th is on the cards. 3rd is slim, but I'm not taking out of the question entirely. Yeah, I think K Dot is too far back from 1st and 2nd place.
I think 5th is maximum. But all these drivers are now in their finishing positions because unless what's that battle?
No. Swift has got to pit again. James has got to pit again.
So
James, yeah, definitely.
Second will go to third.
So Swift and James Head are the 2 cars that we will have to pay attention to for this race.
I think Swift could be under threat from Doug. The gap
He definitely is if he's going to pit
Swift.
again. He definitely is.
He needs to pit as soon as possible, so he limits the amount of time he spent in the pit lane.
Yeah, and what's interesting is that Swift and Doug Barrow have been setting pretty even lap times this race all race long. So that's another development. That's another thing to point out as well. Purple sector for Swift. And purple sector for Ure. Yes, just barely. So these guys are on purple sectors at the moment. Yeah, these guys are absolutely on it at the moment. They're absolutely on it. Yeah, 4.1 seconds now in the gap. Swift's got it back on up, but he's due to a pit once again. So I'm not sure how Swift's going to go at this, to be quite frank with you. Everyone's just spread out, and it's just all going to come down to strategy at this rate. So, James Head. Yeah, James Head's going to do Inferno's stop. Right, Swift's now. The gap's brought down to 3.8 seconds right about there from the 4.1 it was about half a lap ago. So Ure is slightly catching. 46.9 last time by for Swift, 46.8 for Ure. And the lap before that, 46.9 for Swift, 46.6 for Ure. So the gap is slowly going down at the moment.
Yeah, Doug's not a threat to Swift. Doug is not a threat to Swift. He's lost 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's way too far. Yeah, I think Swift's going to be able to hold on for a second with this 2-stop.
So it will be the race finish result should be Yera, Swift, Doug, Hereza, K&K, Ben L, James, Palmer.
I'll second you with that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's a great prediction and a half.
Yeah. Ooh, Kinky doubled it. Oh no, that's just Tim Pinnock. Never mind.
What?
No, I saw a 221 for Kinky Dunn. I thought he had a massive incident of some sort. No, he just pit.
Oh, he's had an instant here though.
What?
Oh. He was all sorts of sideways, corrected it to the point where he was on the grass by the time he caught it.
That's good.
I'm going to let you take over. I will be right back.
Okay. And so while Elliot Thagger takes his break away from the commentary box, we are just enjoying the field being all spread out. We're going to take you on for a couple laps of the Red Bull Ring wet circuit with Ure at the wheel. And so that was 3 laps at the hands of SMM Ure, as he's doing a good job at holding on to the lead now, as I say that now because Swift has come into the pits and now he can push for the race lead. And so we keep our eyes out for that. And so James Head as well also came into the pits as well, if you didn't catch that as also. So he's down at P7, just 7 seconds ahead of Palmer, but 10 seconds behind Ben L85. And so Swift now, possible late surge from Doug Barrow, but Swift is on the newer rubber. And now Ure just still holding on. 20 seconds is the gap from Swift to Ure. And so, possible late surge from Doug Barrow, possibly, because he's gaining the time. I state that because he's now losing the time. But can Swift try and do something about holding on to second place? Ure is definitely cleared off and is looking to take his second win of the season. But keep in mind, things do in fact change for the most part. We'll take you on board now with the Mercedes of Swift, so give you an idea of what Swift is having to deal with for these wet conditions. So Swift having to navigate the tricky Spielberg-based circuit in hopes of trying to close up the gap to Ure, but it doesn't look like that is the case because Ure is still taking off. 45, 47 for Swift, but 46 is consistently on the board after Ure's last stop. So Ure has been pretty much just coasting at this rate for the most part. He doesn't have a lot of worry to risk about as he goes a bit wide, and that's definitely a penalty of some sort. So that's going to benefit Swift just slightly, and so Ure will have to slow up for that penalty as well. With the 10th of penalty on the board right now, he'll be able to serve it into the braking zone for turn number, I want to say 3. That penalty will be cleared up pretty quickly. 5 seconds is the gap between Doug Barrow and Swift. Doug Barrow doing a good job in these wet conditions to hold on for a position, so he'll definitely be proud of himself regardless of the scenario. Light up. No, I stand corrected because it's definitely still very damp on out there. It looks like the rain looks like it appears to be lighting up just slightly, but it is still very damp out there on the circuit. And Swift's just trying to do the best that he can to try and close up that gap to second place, of course. There is Swift right there, just a couple of corners away. Ooh, there's a sideways car out of the corner. Which one is that? That is Ure, as a matter of fact. Palmer in 8th, James Head 7th, 6th, Ben only 5, Kanky got 5th, and then Harry Racer 4th, Doug Barrow 3rd, Swift in 2nd, and Ure taking the lead still. So a good day in the office for Ure at the moment. And he's definitely wanting to try and answer back to Swift, the championship leader, take back his 2nd win of the season compared to Swift's 3 wins of the season that he has so far in 6 races. So this is going to help him out just slightly. Gap now 6 seconds between the 2 cars up in front of, you can see right there, Doug Barrow in the background still trying to close the door if he can to Swift, but Swift doing a good job at holding on to the race lead at the moment. So Ure now at the final corner, just taking it easy and not risking anything. So Swift is doing a good job still trying to stay away from Doug Barrow, but at the same time is not doing a good job at trying to catch up to Ure. So a tough day in the office regardless of the situation, but he is just trying to stay within close proximity, regardless of the scenario. We do have our man Elliot Faggoter back in the commentator's box with us, of course. So welcome back, Elliot Faggoter.
Thanks.
Nothing much has changed, but there is a potential car to be lapped at the expense of SLM Palmer. And Palmer now, oh, major kick of oversteer, just twice. I don't know how he saved that one in the behemoth of the M6.
Interesting fact for you quickly.
Yeah.
Look at the lap times on Swift on lap 27 and lap 28.
27 to 28. So 45.6, 46 for Ure. 47's literally the same lap for Swift.
Identical.
I don't know how he mustered that one, but that's definitely a first in SLM competition.
Does it again. If he does it again.
If he does it again. You're saying if he does it again.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say on that sentence, but he's going to do it.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Nah, he goes quicker.
He goes a lot quicker than that one, of course.
Well, mine's gone to lap. Mine goes 26, 27, 30, 29, 30. That's really weird. Oh, there we go. Pressed it. So Yero's got past Palmer.
Yep, the overlap is done for Ure, so he doesn't have to worry about the traffic that is behind him now. Oh, and Palmer going a bit too deep into the corner.
KK Dot's seriously doing really well without traction control on.
Yeah, I was about to say, he's doing pretty well with that without traction control on, which is pretty much hat all. all race long. He had a potential to pretty much stay up in front of for the race win potentially, but I think 5th might be the best that he could hope for in today's race. So he'll take what he can grab.
Very quiet race now, isn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely quiet. 'Cause look at how spread out everyone is basically from apart from each other. Smith's going to hang on for P2 definitely. Doug Barrow's going to hold on for P3. Harry's are for a fact for P4. Oh, that's KK Doug going around.
Wow.
Wow, what a spin! And the next guy behind us.
Look, he's got it straight into first gear and flooring it. He needs to get that spun round, but he's just burnt his tyres out.
Oh, definitely. Wow, what a massive spin that was. And penalty flag is going to be coming.
With 5 minutes left. Wow, that race has gone quite quickly, actually. I guess because there hasn't been any action, it's felt really quick.
It's just been treacherous, wet conditions all race long. The Pro-Am guys had a thinger going, but the pros have been more straightforward, basically.
Yeah. I'm just watching Palmer really struggling. Oh. But I'm not sure if your mic keeps cutting out or not.
No, I'm fine. I'm right here.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so with 4 minutes, 10 seconds left on the clock, we're starting to dwindle down to the wee minutes of the race.
I think I know what K&K Dot did on the last lap to cause the spin. He's very twitchy, is K&K Dot, Trev? Trev? Too sure, there you go. Trev, are you there? Trev.
Sorry, there's a lot of noise going on in the background.
Oh,
so
no worries.
But yeah, I've been paying attention to this race with Yuri now. He's got one more lap to do it to take his second win of the season. He's honestly been looking really forward to trying to capitalize on his second win of the season here after so many difficult races in the past couple of weeks. And that's my phone being dropped to the floor.
Did that have bass to it?
Boom. Yeah. And so now Swift's going to come through for the final lap. He will get another lap. Doug Barrow is going to get another lap for a fact. Hairraiser's not going to get another lap as it stands. No, it's going to stand as it is for these guys. There's a dog barking in the background in the household, of course.
I'm just thinking if K&K Dot, for any reason, makes a mistake, Benel's going to have him.
Oh, he's going to have him for a fact.
Oh.
Hairraiser's going to come through to finish 4th place and collect a nice chunk of points on the table. K&K Dot, no mistakes, but he's going to have... Oh, you know what? Nah, he's got it. He's got it. Yeah, he's good. He's got it. Very sideways out of the final corner right there. K&K Dot will come home for P5. Benel in 6th place.
Yeah, he'll take 6th. James, yeah, unless he makes a mistake, James will finish in 7th and Palmer in 8th. So the...
Yep, results are going to stand as it is. Yurei's going to come through to the final corner one last time. And he's been really looking forward to this. But he will come to the start-finish line and take his second win of the season and bounce back into the championship standings. What a good day for him, of course. Palmer is going to come through for 8th, unfortunately for the man, 3rd place on points. And this has pretty much opened the door for anyone behind him to try and capitalize on the points. Swift's going to come through to the final corner and almost had a spin and almost threw the race away for second right about there.
Oh, he has.
He's on a spin. Oh, he's, oh, he just kept that one somehow. And Doug Barrow is going to hold on for P3.
Wow.
That was a race and a half right there. Holy moly. A lot of these guys... Out of all the incidents that K&K Dot had, he's still got the clean race bonus somehow. But Yurei is going to win round number 7 of the Straight Line Motorsports GT3 Championship at the Red Bull Ring. What a day for him, of course. What a day for him. And so we will invite our... There's an Audi Sport Gran Turismo decal on his driving suit. I like that. Right, so we're going to invite our podium finishers into the party. And that is also Doug Barrow's first podium of the season. Hard to believe, but it actually is. That is amazing for him right there. Wait. No, yeah, I'm correct. It's his first podium of the season. And so we wait for our podium finishers to hop on into the party, with Yuri taking top honors, Swift in 2nd place, and Doug Barrow in the end of that behind in 3rd place as well. And while we have our podium finishers joining in, we will start off with the podium finishing Doug Barrow. Doug Barrow, you finished on the podium for the first time this season in the Pro-Am Pro category. How do you feel about that for taking your first podium of the season in the Honda NSX GT3? Expand on that if you must.
I thought you had it.
Yeah, you. Oh, go ahead. Continue finishing. And you did a very good job as well with your first podium of the season as well. I mean, other than the fact that you didn't weren't really compromised to get this race here, obviously, but you did a very good job, of course, in holding on for P6, of course, or not P6, P3. But other than that, we move on to Swift, and I don't think he's in the party at the moment, so I'm going to invite him real quick. Oh, he is. Oh, okay. All right. I didn't recognize that as well. All right. But we will move on to our second place man, Swift, in the 95 Mercedes-AMG. Swift, you did a good job today in the wet conditions, but unfortunately the race win did not go your way today. Explain the situation with your race, of course, for the wet weather racing today. Can you hear me now?
He's left and joined, and left and joined.
Oh, hang on. Oh no,
I can hear you now. There you go.
Okay. Right, so let me start again, Swift. Another tough day for you, of course, but P2 was better than nothing, pretty much. Of course, you weren't able to capitalize the win and get it your way going today, but of course, P2 in points is a good thing for you. Describe us your race for today.
All I wanted to do today was keep it clean because I knew the Audi was just naturally faster, and Yere put in a lot more practice than me. So I want to congratulate Yere because he drove a faultless race. I'm just happy I kept it clean and got a P2 out of it. That's all I really wanted, not to bin it and then hope for other people to slip up, but Yere didn't, so congratulations. I went for the 2-stop because I didn't want to risk any tyres, I just wanted to keep it clean and not spin out. And yeah, also congratulations to Doug because getting the NSX onto the podium is no mean feat, so that was really a good achievement. And yeah, I'm just happy with the 18 points.
Yeah, you actually answered one of my questions about the 2-stop, by the way, but you didn't go into much detail. What was kind of the reason for the 2-stop as well, by the way, besides the tires kind of going off? Were you trying to get much of an advantage on pace to try and match yourself with the Audis, or was it kind of like was it dealing with?
It was honestly, it was just pure. I think it was purely the tires, and then. I thought maybe if I pitted and then I went backwards on track, then Yere wouldn't be able to see me on track, and maybe he'd get a bit nervous and he'd make a mistake. But it didn't. It wasn't like just trying to keep up with him naturally wasn't working, so I had to try something different. That's all.
Well, a good day for you as well, Swift. But unfortunately, the race win did not go your way. That race win, of course, went to the man went to the Spaniard of SLM Yere, and Yere, you did yourself very, very well to capitalize on the elements and take home your second win of the season. How do you feel about that right about now? Yeah, it seemed like a very good day for you, of course, in the office, Yere. Would you say the practice that you had earlier in the week made the huge difference, and to be able to try and capitalize on your second win of the season and ultimately get back into the championship fight, obviously? And possibly, was there anything that you could have done possibly differently to try and get anything going ahead of Swift? Were you hoping for Swift to try and put a foot wrong in the race and try and get bag more points at the end of the day, or were you happy with Swift just getting second place and trying to take as much points as you can?
I know, Sarah. I know you want to play. You're not the one I'm worried about. I'm Chloe. It's Chloe, okay? Watch back. Get back. Yeah, come on, Bobby. Come on.
Well, it's a good day for you, for everybody that finished on the podium, Ure, Swift, and Doug Barrow, especially for Doug Barrow's first podium of the season. And, of course, he did very, very well to hold on to P3. But, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Straight Line Motorsports GT3 Championship here live at the Red Bull Ring. I've been your host and commentator for today's race, SU_RZ, and we'll see you guys next time.